The Roaring Twenties became an iconic time with the growth of manufacturing, the prohibition of liquor, increased racism, prosperity, social and economic growth, women's suffrage, the birth of the flapper girl, and finally ending in the collapse of the American stock market.
The Roaring Twenties began with the end of World War I and the Peace Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles and Wilson's 14 Points inducted many new foreign policies, including the League of Nations. The League of Nations was an international agreement meant to handle foreign affairs and stop the possibility of another world war. Despite the fact that it was Wilson's idea to create the League of Nations, the U.S. Congress voted against joining the League, thus making it an inefficient form of world government that set the stage for World War II. This failure led to the U.S. policy of isolationism and many foreign policies. The U.S. wanted to stay away from foreign affairs and focus on the growth of the United States. One way the U.S. established isolationism was through the Kill-Off-Brand Pact. This pact was an international agreement to not use war to resolve disputes or conflicts. This was a useful step concerning wars and disputes. Also, in the effort to prevent war, France, Great Britain, United States, Japan, and Italy met at the Pacific Naval Conference in an effort to limit military involvement. They created a limit on the amount of warships each country was allowed to have. This controlled tonnage of Navy warships, but some types of ships were left unrestricted, thus bringing the powers back to the negotiating table in 1930.
The 1920s was also a monumental time for social growth, especially concerning women's rights. The women's rights movement really gained momentum during World War I and into the 1920s. Women's status during World War I improved dramatically as they had to operate the factories in order to provide supplies for troops overseas. This showed women were able to operate at the same quality as men and showed they had the same amount of patriotism. This showed they were just as deserving of citizenship as men, so on August 26, 1920, the 19th Amendment was ratified, giving women the right to vote and created universal suffrage in the United States. The increase in women's social status gave way to the flapper girl. The flapper's image consisted of drastic changes to women's clothing and hair. Clothes were trimmed down to make movement easier. Flappers cut their hair short and got rid of corsets.
The ratification of the 18th Amendment banned the manufacture, transportation, and sale of all liquor. This started the iconic time in American history known as Prohibition. It was difficult to enforce and caused a rise in gang violence and other crimes. This led to a decrease in support for Prohibition by the end of this decade. The ratification of the 21st Amendment repealed the 18th Amendment and brought the Prohibition era to a close.
The Harlem Renaissance was a literary, artistic, and intellectual movement that started a brand new black identity. Black literature and jazz music became very popular during this time. During the Harlem Renaissance, the Fordney-McCumber Tariff was passed. It raised tariffs on many imported goods and was meant to protect factories and farms. It promoted foreign trade and provided loans to Europe. This caused an increase in European goods being used in America.
In conclusion, the Roaring Twenties was a monumental time where America transitioned into a modern culture consisting of new values such as women's suffrage, isolationism, new black identity, and improved social values.